what is on the Guardian's front page, Catherine.
Front page of The Guardian calls for action as teachers reveal scale of pupil hunger. Essentially, children that are not eligible for free school meals are coming to school with moldy bread or dry cereal, sometimes nothing at all.
Right.
So there's a call to, I guess, increase the gap because of inflation.
Yeah,
it was frozen.
Threshold.
The threshold. It was frozen for 4 years, but there's been inflation. So hundreds of thousands of children are going hungry. And
I believe the word snatched was used by the... Is this from the Lib Dems, I think, have done this survey? Is that right? Yeah. And they're trying to evoke memories of Margaret Thatcher, who you may not remember. In the early 70s, before she was Prime Minister, was known as the milk snatcher. Because her first significant intervention was to stop us being given like a mug full of lukewarm, slightly off milk in the morning, something for which I remain internally grateful that she intervened. That was miserable. But, yeah, it is pretty bleak, isn't it? Again, I mean, it probably does make sense, although you do wonder if it isn't also like a pretty bad indictment of British parenting, that this is the thing. Cannot arrange for your children to have something slightly better than that, like a cup of cold rice.
There's so many. Everybody wants to blame the government for bad parenting. It's like, why did you have children if you're not going to feed them? I mean, it's not so hard. I bet all these parents are like, everybody's like, oh, they're so poverty-stricken. It's like, no, come on, like, food isn't that expensive. Even now, after inflation and stuff, it's not that expensive. Basically, you wanted to spend your money on OnlyFans or scratch cards or something like that, so you don't want to spend it on the kids. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, why don't we just give... If some kids are getting free school meals, I mean, surely the actual cost of extending it to all school children isn't going to be that much, because we're already providing it to some of them, so why don't we just provide it to all of them as a standard? All children get like a standard nutritional start.
I tend to agree with that. There was an example given as one of the examples of the children that was being maltreated, was that it was given £1 to spend it on its own lunch, and it had bought itself a chocolate bar on the way into school, which is an understandable error, you know, in nutritional terms, but you can understand why that would give that little uplift. But for £1, I mean, it's not great by any means, but for £1 you can get more than a cup of cold rice, can't you? If you can just say to them, we're paying £1 each, you know, that will certainly get you a slice of ham and cheese in the middle of a couple of slices of bread, you know.
And like,
you know, in a bag.
If you're buying it on a larger scale, like you would if you're, you know, providing schools to dinners, then you'd be able to get, you know, chickpeas and pulses and all sorts of nutritional stuff.
But I do also agree with you. I think a universal healthy lunch option at school is one of the few socialist measures. What do you think? Would this go down well in New York?
I don't think children should go hungry, and I couldn't speak to everybody's.
What about Hitler's child?
Even Hitler's child. Why not? Why should, you know, sins of the fathers? I don't know. Why should the kids starve? I mean, I know I'm not having children for this exact reason. I'm still busy feeding myself. So.